What's going on, traders? I just want to get on here and share the trading day with you. We got NQ here pre-market. It's 8:25 a.m. For anybody new, before we just kind of jump in, it looks like it's borderline about to have a breakout. And so instead of chasing this thing, let's just not act like a fish that's been looking at some bait here and get induced into the market just because of emotions. 8:25. It's important pre-market to check the news Forex Factory. If you're new to trading, this can really save you a lot of money to check this before starting to trade, because every news event for the day that'll be affected, like the market or whatever, you'll see it as these folders. Today, 8:25, which would probably be that spike, is the Chairman Jordan speaks for this Swissy, and it's like an orange folder, which has somewhat of an effect on the market. I don't know the scaling there, but you can see it kind of had a quick move to the upside. Almost want to catch this short while we're talking here. I'm just doing one contract, 100K account, kind of a smaller stop loss, just because. What is it? 20 ticks, $100 basically of risk. So the chart set up here. Make sure everything looks good. And so the chart set up here, you can see the open P&L down here at the bottom, $30 profit right now. But basically, what we're due, I think everything looks good. Let's get the higher time frame narrative going over here, the 15-minute. You can do 4-hour daily, which has how I would like to start the chart here, kind of mark up everything from the morning here. And so looks like we're at new highs of day on the daily. It's also really important to check out the DXY, which is the dollar index. NASDAQ is correlatively, or negatively, it's a little early still, negatively correlated to the dollar's movement. So if the dollar's going down, NASDAQ and S&P and all that tend to go opposite of that. So if this is going down, it typically means bullish for the NASDAQ. Looks like it's been kind of having a some downward pressure here at a new fib level that was testing down here. Could bounce, could not, but for what we're doing on the 4-hour charts, we'll just do an hourly. You can see it's still pretty much going down. So keeping an eye on the landmine area with these news events and seeing what the dollar's doing is really helpful for our scalps here. And so get back to the chart. And just mark out our levels while this trade is just doing what it does. To take profit. I'd like to see that whole thing drop, but yeah, keep an eye on the higher time frames here. If this is going to be a really bullish day, I just kind of have a personal rule anymore not to buy on these breakouts, thinking that they're going to break out, but wait till it comes back down a little bit. Like I said, it's 8:30, so we got some time before market opens in an hour. And I got wicked out there. That kind of sucks. That's okay. So basically, we'll mark these new highs on the daily. Get a little bit more detail in with where we're at on the 4 hour as a possible low as a temporary target. Looks like we're about to break out of the sideways range. You can see down here that would have been a nice short, but that trick of that inducement at the top, thinking that it's going to break out, has fucked me many times. And so I tried to really not fall for that trick every time. And even right now, I would like to see that retrace even further before getting a buy position. I'll do a fib real quick. Went about 38%. I want to catch it about 50 or more. I might get like one. Once it hits 50, maybe do one contract. If it happened to go even lower, then do two. And that's sitting at the 23. The reason I wanted to see it drop down a little bit more is because of the risk to reward ratios. Yeah, this could continue to skyrocket. And that is like kind of like a micro pullback. But it's just not a trade I'm interested in, just because of how high it is on this thing, because it could turn around and drop all the way down to the 50 or 61 level, and then you kind of get trapped up at the top again, at the top of this hill. And so while we're waiting for this to continue to do what it does, continue marking up the higher time frame chart. So now that the 4 hour zone is kind of becoming more clear from the daily to the 4 hour, this is where price is really gets respected more. These daily and 4 hour zones. If this were to be like a short opportunity, this 17,979 probably be a good target psychologically. That 1800 range, or 18,000, sorry. But I don't necessarily think this is going to drop all the way down to here. I'm really only focused on the 15 minute. And so looks like a nice uptrend in the making. Yeah, one of the key things is to remain conscious and not be reactive, and not get tricked into positions because of fear, either fear of missing out or fears of, there's all sorts of these subtle flavors of fear. I'm still thinking at a short seems like a better game plan. in the short term here. Mainly because we just peaked a new high, and there's really not a bunch of momentum. It looks like a lot of that candle is from that news event, and so not to say it's not gonna have a bullish day because of the dollar or whatever, but this recent movement I think is coming to an end. That's why I just want to do a short while we're up at the top of this range. By the top of the range, I just mean where I got this fib from the bottom to the top on the 1 minute chart. It's not so obvious on the 15-minute chart what's going on. And, you know, this move from here to the top of that's all really in this candle for the most part. So a lot of this nuance is getting lost of what's going on with the price action. What we're looking for is a new low. So it's like this is higher lows on these wicks, on these bottoms. That one was the first one to kind of break that micro uptrend. Let's draw it out so everybody's on the same page. So from here to here, that wick just broke through that. It's kind of the same movement as that move down. It just shows weakness. These Fibonacci's are kind of nice. I'm gonna get out of this trade. It's not dropping fast enough. I'm actually gonna chase it like a dummy, but everything's like kind of setting up so bullish. Yeah, this vibe's been bullish. This inducement down didn't get nearly the legs down. So, yeah, it seems like a lot of people are thinking more bullish, so we're not going to fight the trend. Set the stop loss to break even. Yeah, NASDAQ, for anybody kind of new to it, look on the higher time frame while that's doing what it's doing. So for anybody that's not been trading NASDAQ, we're just recovering from a kind of a pretty decent pullback here. You know, we just broke new highs. You know, it's been pretty bullish for weeks and weeks and months, and so it's been consolidating here at these new highs. And then over the course of the past week or two, huge red days. You know, and for anybody that was trading those, you know, from this kind of consolidation to this sell-off, huge losses if we're not putting a stop loss in and just riding that shit out. Let's see about trying to get a better position. Yeah, the trick is to not buy at the tops of the candlesticks or the tops of the ranges. But it's almost just like, I notice it in myself, it's just almost just like a fish getting tricked by bait, by a lure. You know, it's just that little tap, 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 tap. And then if you're not conscious of that, it's easy to get sucked into a trade at the top of the hill. Right now, I'm looking for a buying opportunity. I almost want to see it retest this low. One things to keep in mind, a lot of times I've gotten burned after a new high, thinking, oh, it's just going to keep going up and up and up, and then as it gets this new high, big bull day, and then it flushes all the way fucking down. That's pretty much where kind of wanted to buy it. If it drops again lower, I think I'm going to double down and do another contract. Because I would consider the bottom of this range, this candle, at the 38.2% fib zone. You got to almost train yourself to do the opposite of what you almost want to do. Like when you see it tanking, my knee-jerk reaction, when you see a full red bearish candle, it's just natural, I feel like, to want to chase it and think, oh, it's just going to go down to the bottom. And that's how the market can be tricky, is there's lots of traps and shit that just, if you're not mindful about, you can just get sucked into them, which is why I believe most traders fail at trading, is they don't catch these patterns and change their mindset about what's going on. I would say it's important to get in a habit of doing the stop losses. Yeah, you can check the news. Yeah, you can kind of get a feel for how the market typically likes to move. I'm gonna put that right underneath that level, because if it does do a quick little wick down to this guy, I wouldn't mind, again, getting another contract done. But anything can literally happen. I mean, you just be sitting here and who knows, some drama could go on in the world and have nothing to do with like a news event that was like known or any of that. And just all of a sudden, just the market could just flush or just explode. And so one of the easiest ways to not let your emotions dictate what you're doing is, for one, to have the right risk. We'll see how that works out. Yeah, because one of my downfalls is it's so easy to click these buttons. And it's like you can sit here and just click buy, and just like on a like a 10 tick move, if you had 100 or if you had 10 contracts, each contract's $50 a move. That'd be $500 in 10 ticks. Get into and I like to be out of the market by like 9:30. So like all these pre-market moves here, mainly because at 9:30 that candle can just be chaotic and highly volatile. You could be sitting in a nice trade or a nice profit that could just vanish in a matter of seconds. And we're just going to take this L for now. Let me jump into the chat, see what's going on with you guys. Doesn't look like anything. And we're going to kind of just sit back here, wait for this to hit the bottom. It's tempting to want to buy it like once it goes down and then skyrockets up. It's tempting to want to buy it like at the top. But that's, if we measure that, this wick from down here, just in this candlestick, it's moving 24 ticks. I'm just kind of waiting for it to turn around. And we'll see if we can catch it maybe like now. If we get a little bit more. It's like right now it looks good for a short. It's in a nice position. But I think we're gonna keep looking for buy opportunities. It's that 20 tick stop loss. Be about $100. Risk. And you can kind of see how this kind of is starting to form a bottom. And you have basically the same patterns that repeat over and over again. So it's just like once it gets to a bottom, you can kind of start just seeing this look, and you get some consolidation, but then you start getting higher lows and higher highs. And that's like a really strong indicator that it's going to turn around. In the higher time frame narrative here, we got kind of a nice reversal. This time specifically is 8:51, so 9 o'clock a.m. is when the 4-hour candlestick changes. So a lot of times you'll catch turnarounds around 9 a.m., 1 p.m., 5, not so much at 5 p.m., but then every 4 hours. The market has a kind of a way it likes to move. It's kind of fascinating. This is doing its thing. I think I'm going to make myself a cup of coffee. I got a Keurig in my office here. This huge candle from Friday, I ended up capturing like that whole move pretty much to like this consolidation right in here on this Apex account. Well, not this one specifically, but on an Apex account. This is basically a prop futures account. If you go to like apextrader.com or whatever, I actually have a discount code in the descriptions for anybody that wants to do this. Basically you need like Quantower, which is free, and then either use Apex or Top Step. I use both actually. Like Apex I like to day trade with because the evals are like way cheaper. It's like an eval for a 100K account with a discount is like only like $40, and if you blow the account it's only like $40 to reset it. Whereas like Top Step for a 100K account I think is like $100. But if you pass the next leg of this thing, like with when I got funded with what is it, Apex, it's like you do the eval and then it's like another like activation license or something, I can't remember, but it's like $100 and something, where the evals are cheaper. That next activation fee or whatever is more expensive with Apex, which is nice if you're new and like kind of blowing through accounts or whatever. But Top Step, a little bit more expensive up front but cheaper activation. I like to use both because they're both United States based, and you don't have to worry about them. Like with the prop firm bullshit. For anybody that's been trading Forex for a while, how like the prop firms have been very unreliable for United States traders for whatever reason, because of MetaTrader reasons or whatever. But futures trading doesn't have that kind of drama, doesn't have like the overseas sketchiness. For me at least, just being an American, trading in the United States. There's no reason not to trade with Apex and Top Step, just because it's so easy if you're using like your own money trading futures to just blow the account. And it's one thing to blow $40 that took a week or two, it's another thing, if you're blowing like hundreds of dollars a day, thousands of dollars a day of your actual money learning how to trade. It's much better to kind of practice with prop firms, and then once you get good at it, then you get funded, and then you can trade with the 100K account. Whereas if you used 100K of your own money to learn how to trade, you probably end up investing a whole 100K into the market, and that would be a really shitty feeling. And put that stop loss just right under that wick. One of the things to keep in mind as trading is like a lot of people are using prop firms, and so if a lot of the market is using these prop firms that are trading with these same requirements, part of an edge is kind of standing out from what the crowd is doing that's failing. And so why do most traders fail? Why is that such a pedestal? And so it's like you got to look at why you're not knocking it out of the park. Over leveraging is a big deal. Over trading, it's all these bad habits. But then also keep in mind, if the majority of people are trading one contract or two contracts, everybody's trying to hit the same risk to rewards. 1 to 1, 1 to 2, 1 to 3. And so a lot of these levels, when you get like a 1 to 3, you can kind of start thinking like that, as far as like risk to reward and all that. So it looks like that new low, a higher low than this previous low, which we should see the result of that in the next couple candlesticks as people are. It's really important to realize that this is a market. This is like an auction for just price. So it's like, okay, to actually buy and sell something, you have to buy it cheaper than most people. So it's like you have to kind of when everybody else is shitting their pants with fear, that's kind of a good time to get a position in, because then when the euphoria is up here at the top of the hill, you have somebody to sell it to. And we're about to cross the 9 o'clock candlestick. Sometimes right at 9 o'clock it'll just get a big move, because a lot of people will wait for these candlesticks to close. And trading like the 1 minute chart, I'm not looking to be in these positions like for all day. It's 15 minutes, 20 minutes, a couple. Sometimes put bigger stop loss in and just less risk and just get into more of the trend. Just that depends on how the day's going. So it looks like that 9 o'clock candle had a little bit higher wick, a little bit higher lower high. Now it's tempting to maybe get another contract in. Because it's starting to turn around. Or at least to me it does. We'll wait. Need to get crazy before market even opens. Make another cup of coffee while this is doing what it's doing. And I'm glad I was able to get this P&L, this position, whatever, what are you going to call this, group? So that you guys can see the price movement a little bit better. I like to use that as almost like an indicator for strength and weakness. You do the same position size on the same chart like 5 days a week. You can almost start to tell a lot about the what the price is doing based on the P&L, how fast it's moving, etc. Looks like it's about to break out of this sideways range here. And we're off. And jump into the chat, see what's going on with you guys. Appreciate all of you being here and spending the trading day with me. Hopefully this is helpful if you're new to trading. You set up a new trading page and everything for just people that I know and don't know yet, just to learn how to trade and make some extra money working from home. Is really an awesome thing for a lot of people that are not used to that. I've had a handyman business for years. Before that, music business, which I still do, a music licensing business. And it's kind of like an evergreen thing, but like the thing with money and finance and businesses and everything, it's a lot of it's just mental. A lot of it, once you finally do it, there's not a big you made it moment. There's like a parade of people that's like, oh, you did it, champ. Good job, you did it. But a lot of times if you with inflation and everything else going on, it's important to diversify. It's really tempting to just got another contractor. A lot of times you'll see this pattern. You have an inducement up followed by a retracement back. It's like a really good setup. Happens on lots of different time scales. But like a lot of times you'll see that in a breakout. You get a big inducement up followed by a crash. And then the actual move is right here where it drops down. And then it uses it as like fuel to go higher. But like with anything, anything could happen. If there's a certainty with trading, someone would have made an algorithm and $1 million doing it. Now, the nice thing about trading is you can really start to learn a lot about yourself, especially when you're doing the same bonehead things over and over again. Because you can have successful days of profit, but you can also have successful days of just losing. And what I mean by like a successful losing day or successful red day is like you shouldn't probably lose more than 1% of the account at most a day. So on a 100K account, that's like losing $1,000. The problem is it's so easy to get emotionally hijacked by that kind of a loss. Then it's like, oh, I gotta double down. I gotta make it all back in a day. Oh, all these like kind of reactivity things, which is not creating, and it's not really coming from a place of abundance either. If you're constantly just trying to create out of scarcity, you should be trading because of abundance reasons, to multiply abundance and not getting out of scarcity. But the thing to remember is just like everything's happening for a reason. And if the things keep happening in predictable patterns, like, I keep having a 4% losing, I'm losing $4,000, or I'm blowing this up. I think the prop firm with Apex is 3,000. If you go through a $3,000 account or $3,000 of a loss in this account, you'd lose the account. And so if you're like doing that in a day, the next day, for one, you gotta size down. If you're blowing through that much money that quick, you gotta slow down a little bit on your position size. But you can also start, breaking out of that losing streak by realizing you can be successful in your losing days too, by being able to walk away and not be emotionally hijacked. That's a win. A lot of people can't do that. So if you're new to trading, this whole 38.2 to basically where the stop loss is, you can see this bottom wick, and every time you hit a certain level, it reverses. So it's like bottom wick, boom, up, bottom wick, bottom wick up, bottom wick up. You know, so that's basically a support zone. Pretty much anything in this area right here is a really good setup for long positions. It's really important to keep that in mind, because it's if you don't really beat this into your head, it's so easy to get into the zone and think, oh, continuation to the downside, and then you're selling in a buy zone, and then it reverses on you, and then you get screwed, and then you start chasing it, and then you get up here thinking, oh, it's gonna. Then you put in another buy, and then it gets shorted, and then you just end up in this vicious cycle of getting shorted and being on the wrong side of these things. You know, and so for educational purposes, the sell zone is up here for now. Can price hit this zone and continue through it? Yeah. Statistically, though, it's like probably 30%, maybe less of the time. You'll get a like a breakout. A lot of times it just hits these zones and bounces, like it did down here. It didn't have a continuation to the downside. And so when price gets to up here, at the highest it's ever been, that's when we sell it. That's not when we hit a long position. You might drag the stop loss up and trail it at that zone. But be very mindful at these zones. This is a zone to maybe do it like this, so everybody can kind of really get this beat into their mind. Green, and then red. That's not very visually appealing, but let me see if I can make that more visually appealing. So then hopefully you can see the zones a little bit better. Every time frame has its own zones. So it's important to kind of think about that in terms of your position size and what you're actually doing. And this stop loss is basically just for, if it breaks the bottom of those, this idea that this uptrend is going to continue is pretty much invalidated. And so that's a good spot just to be out of it. I used to trade with the idea of like, oh, huge, bigger stop loss, and if it turns around, it turns around, but then your money's tied up in a trade that's kind of maybe going against you for hours, when you could have just cut your loss, got a different position, and moved on. That didn't breach that high, so kind of in it's kind of sketchy now. But now we're back in the zone, the buy zone. And just like that, it was invalidated. Alright, while price is doing its thing, I'm going to make another cup of coffee and play some music for you guys, if anybody's in here. Yeah, I did this the other day. I played one of my own tracks, and like I got a copyright thing. Let me just play some music real quick. Ugh. I'm just trying to find some instrumental thing. I just did maybe these remixes. Now I just do this. I remix this for a remix contest. I forget all the samples I use, but like I'll be right back. I'm gonna make some coffee and kind of stay out of the market till it opens here. So let's get this going.
Wake up slow day, everybody got to make their way, plodding along to the old boss man song. And wouldn't it be nice if your day was filled with a little more spice? Everybody woke up and together we did the Charleston Boogie. We all love the Charleston Boogie. Everybody do the Charleston Boogie. Come and join the Charleston Boogie. Coffee, heartache, forgotten your homework and you woke up late. Car won't start and the hangover's kicking in. Now wouldn't you agree that life would be so easy if y'all let your head down and together we did the Charleston Boogie. We all love the Charleston Boogie. Everybody do the Charleston Boogie. Come and join the Charleston Boogie. I don't wanna be no puppet on a string. I just wanna let everybody hear me sing. I don't wanna be no puppet on a string. I just wanna let everybody hear me sing. I don't wanna be no puppet on a string. I just wanna let everybody hear me sing. I don't wanna be no puppet on a string. I just wanna let everybody hear me sing. Well, we all know what they say, all work and no play. It's gonna make me a very dull girl. If only there was a way to bring happiness back to every day. We all get together and bring back the Charleston Boogie. We all love the Charleston Boogie. Everybody do the Charleston Boogie. Come and join the Charleston Boogie. Train delayed, any phone's dead. Rain falling hard, to shower back in bed. Gonna be late and I wanna break down and cry. Then a ray of sunshine fills the sky and I smile. I see that everybody's doing the Charleston Boogie. We all love the Charleston Boogie. Everybody do the Charleston Boogie. Come and join the Charleston Boogie. I don't wanna be no puppet on a string. I just wanna let everybody hear me sing. I don't wanna be no puppet on a string. I just wanna let everybody hear me sing. I don't wanna be no puppet on a string. I just wanna let everybody hear me sing. I don't wanna be no puppet on a string. I just wanna let everybody hear me sing. We all love the Charleston Boogie. Everybody do the Charleston Boogie. Come and join the Charleston Boogie. huge walls around your heart. Let me be your hammer. Love is where we start. Drown within my armor. Tell me secrets to life. Surrender with me tonight. Tell me who you're trying to be. I can make it reality. Pull me closer. This doesn't feel like home, and I can't let go, 'cause I feel so alone. I don't know who to be if you're not around. Save me before I drown. Tell me who you're trying to be. I can make it reality. We don't need sobriety for you to get through to me. Tell me who you're trying to be. I can make it reality.
What's going on, traders? Yeah, we got about 7 more minutes till the bell opens. I just put a quick short in. It seems like this has been pretty weak. It's been dialing around. We got a new low, this high. Didn't have very much oomph to it. The sell zone is up here, but I get, you can consider anything up here that starts to dial around as a shorting opportunity. It could just continue to break through. I like to be out of this trade before the bell opens. This was just a quick little opportunity to maybe get a quick short before the bell. Really quick. That was almost stopped out there. I definitely want to be out of this trade before the bell opens. I'm going to stay to one contract for now. I don't need to over risk. That's 2 contracts should be for A pluses only. Look at at the higher time frame. So basically we have a move to the upside that happened, followed by kind of a predictable kind of consolidation. I would assume for like a target, probably maybe this 61.8. Kind of just depends on how fast this thing goes down. I'm going to close it regardless of where it's at in 3 minutes. So kind of looking at this like a new high, and then this is like a lower high. But anything can happen, once the market opens. Yeah, it could completely just flush in a matter of seconds all the way down to here. I'm just gonna get out of this trade and just wait till 9:30. I was hoping to just get a quick flush, but I don't know what account I'm even trading in. I'm going to be trading in this 100K account actually. So it's really tempting to maybe do a short right now, but with the market opening in like a couple minutes, it's better just to wait because of the candlestick at 9:30. It's just a fucking you'll all see it. I'm gonna try to clean up my potty mouth in case people from church or are watching the stream to try to my. This thing's really popping now. It's broke new highs with 30 seconds before 9:30. This is a very tricky spot because the short is kind of the play to be watching out for. Yeah, and buying at the top of this hill right now, even though it's like racing up higher and higher, it's tempting to want to get into it right now. But you can also really set yourself up for a big, see how it's getting shorted if you're in now. There you go, you just got freaking wiped. super sketchy where we're at right now. Got the camera like really close to where this candlestick is, so it's kind of hard to see. And I'm about to close this trade. My mental stop loss at the moment is $500 in the hole. That's a 0.5% risk. You can see right when market opens, it's super volatile and kind of sketchy and dangerous. If you want big on position size, you can get totally wiped. If I had 2 contracts, that would have been $1,000, just like that in the hole, and I wouldn't want to hold through that. With this, I felt more comfortable holding, even though it was kind of a big loss at the on the P&L. Just for the factors that we talked about this morning of the dollar looking like it's on a bearish day, kind of the trajectory of the higher time frame narrative here. And so it looks like it's racing to new highs now. We're gonna just go ahead and just put better stop loss in. We're at $200 profit. It'll be about a break even trade. I'm gonna see if we can get a little bit more push to the upside here before really locking in profit. If we can capture this morning move, which I think we're going to. That wick, a lot of bears in here, or a lot of bulls in here. The 15-minute wick is really impressive on that. I just got out of that trade. I'll wait for another buying opportunity if it drops down again. With it being, I've had it happen to me a few times where it sparks this new high and then just freaking flushes. So I don't really trust it right now. Not at the top of the hill. Yeah, it could skyrocket up, but I don't really trust shorting it either. I can't even see it. Another winning trade here. First sign of weakness. I'm gonna get out of this one too. $185 profit. I actually feel more comfortable shorting up. Oh crap, I accidentally clicked 2 contracts there. And see why you don't want to buy at the top of these hills, trying to chase a breakout or chasing a chasing like, oh, it's gonna go up forever. Let's do a break even. To 220 profit. Do a quick I think it's going to drop back down to test this. I don't trust what it's doing. We'll just do this account and do kind of at the end we'll figure out what our profit was for the day and everything. Kind of chasing those. Pretty much just did another short. And close that trade. See if it bursts up to the upside now. Got my finger on the flatten button basically. $100 or so is about the 1-to-1, 100 to 150. I'm gonna stay in this trade. I think it's gonna pop pretty good. Do a break even, stop loss in case we get tricked. Did a $100 profit. I think it's gonna still be a short. I'm watching the P&L more than the candlesticks at the moment. The thing is lagging. Yeah, anytime you're at the top of the hill like we're at now, it's important, especially 9:44 New York session time. The first 15-minute candle hasn't even closed, but that candle is looking very bullish. And we just got the 15-minute candle close. Break even. 125 in the P&L. Hopefully this is that, big impulsive move before 10 o'clock. See if it breaks that high. A lot of shorting pressure. Let's do a short. With all that shorting pressure, didn't break that high. And the 15-minute chart. I need to break even hotkeys. I'm kind of going back and forth a lot. I should have held my conviction, I guess. Or maybe not. I'll just hang on to this position. Yeah, I like trading frequently. It's one of the reasons I like either using a one contract or sometimes even 5 micros, which is half this size. NQ is $5 a tick. Let's see if this breaks out. Oh, looks like it's breaking out. Take a little bit of profit, I guess. It looks like it's turning back around. I'm ready for a short, but it's really bullish in here today. I've just been kind of, I don't want to say like PTSD'd, by this bear NASDAQ market that's been kind of happening for the past however long. I just don't trust the tops of these. For that reason, because it just, I've had a handful of times now where it's like breaking a new high type thing and then just a complete flush to the bottom, and followed by like an hour of downtrend bullshit. a 20 pip or 20 tick stop loss on this position size is $100 of loss. You need to be mindful of buying at tops of hills. It's much more likely they'll get shorted. $9:52 New York session time. A lot of times around 10 o'clock it starts to have a reversal. Not all the time, but it's kind of something that happens that I've just picked up on as just like a natural movement of the market. You have like the first 30 minutes kind of getting a push and an inducement in a lot of ways, followed by kind of a retracement. Not all the time. But NASDAQ's just been kind of bearish, so the idea of just constantly getting a breakout at the top of the hill, maybe, but I'm not that optimistic anymore when it comes to NASDAQ at the moment being that bullish. We got three, they call it 3 soldiers, 3 red candlesticks in a row. Followed by, is that a double bottom? Kind of. Yeah, I think that this is what happened on Friday. It had the big news event, caught a bunch of ticks, caught a new high, and then it was a news event. I was up I think at $500. It was just like in a matter of seconds, the news event, boom, I was on the right side of it, $500. And then almost immediately after that, it was like, oh, that worked, and then it tanked. I lost $1,000 from being up 500. Get my finger kind of on the button here, just in case. I'm waiting for that big, just kind of, yeah, that guy. That's what I was waiting for. That to start, that domino to fall. So my personal goal, for the 100K account is 1%, which is $1,000 profit a day. If I hit $1,000, I would probably just switch to a different account and then try to get $1,000 on that one versus try to really stack a huge win in one account. I should have wrote down what we started with. I wouldn't say I'm like bad about like keeping track of like the P&L stuff, but I'm just kind of more focused on I'm not really focused on the P&L all that much, other than keeping my losses within my parameters and having either a successful red day or a successful green day. Anything that doesn't result in becoming unconscious and just making stupid bonehead reactive decisions is a win. I'm just gonna take profit right now. I just don't like how those shorts aren't dropping out. Looks like a good read. I'm gonna close out, just make a quick 120, and I'll sell. And this is kind of like, where we're at. I wouldn't say it's super sketchy, but we'll see. We'll see how this falls, and see if it's getting any more momentum or not. We got the top of the hour candlestick at 10, which is a minute and something away. Got one more kind of a doji candle. Just have a 20 tick stop just in case. Do a hair above that, just in case it just gets above it and then shorts down. That's okay. This is kind of screaming breakout to me, so we look at the bigger time frame here. Bullish, bullish, bullish. Top of the hour. Can it flip bearish and all that go down? Yeah. That loss right there was from chasing. That was from being reactive. That's a fish eating bait. That's a better buy right there. Catching them breakouts can be a fool's errand. Not all the time. Sometimes you can catch these wins, but it's much better, even on a 1 minute candlestick, to buy it at the bottom of the candlestick versus the top thinking it's going to keep going up. It's not. It sounds easy to do. It's something to practice though, because at least I have to practice that, because I fall for that like a fish. and then boom, it retraces 20 ticks, and you're in the hole for $100 if you just would waited 30 seconds. Like buying it now when it's kind of scary, when it's red, a lot more profit, and a lot tighter stop loss. If you're trading a 4-hour chart, that doesn't really matter all that much. On a 4-hour chart, I would be at maybe a couple micros or minis. I always get those confused, whatever the cheapest one is. Micro to me sounds like it's the cheapest one, but mini sounds small for some, I don't know. $80, $100. At this point, I'm gonna break even. And take a quick win there. Now, like the reactivity is, you're seeing a red candle, red candle, red candle. So I'm gonna chase it and put a sell in. When the exact opposite is what you should be doing. When it's at its biggest red, that's when to buy. All right, there, just made $45, just ba-boom. Just get out of that trade. But that's kind of what I mean. It's just, you just want to hit it right at the bottom. Like I said, it's easier said than done because it's easy to get emotionally hijacked and chase instead of kind of waiting for the bottom and the tops to kind of manifest where they're going to be. Kind of the way I look at it, anything in the $100 range is like a 1-to-1, and by 1-to-1 it means hold through it, maybe lose it, not really sweating it too much. Starting to turn around. This might be a breakout. Reason I say that is because this is kind of some consolidation. These candles can be looked at some sideways ranging. Yeah, uptrend, sideways range, followed by a continuation, possibly. In the higher time frame, what time is it? 10:06. It kind of depends on what this is going to do. This is looking very bearish or very bullish. I'm keeping an eye on the P&L. If it starts to show weakness, I'm going to get out of the trade. almost at $300 profit. And that was showing weakness to me. At the top of this guy, if this closes red as like a doji, I would expect it kind of a turnaround. I actually kind of expect it to turn around right now. Do a quick $115 profit. Yeah, we got 7 minutes. If this closes red, I would start changing my bias to looking for shorts. Not all the time does that mean it's going to turn around and maybe retrace these, but it's very very likely. In the meantime, I think I can get a buy-in, maybe catch a quick move up. I feel like we're really in a good flow, kind of a good flow state right now. Really seeing the market well. I'm going to close that. I feel like this is getting ready to drop. Mainly because of what's going on the 15-minute. Is not showing much strength. Price action, as far as reaching new highs, seems to be kind of teetering. I wouldn't say sideways, but we have kind of right in the middle of the range here. I'm going to do another 20 tick stop loss. And you don't got to keep it 20. You can kind of adjust it, to be above this. But at least if we're in the range of like 20 ticks, that's $100. So $200 should be a 1 to 2, $300 would be a 1 to 3. The way we're trading. And that way we don't get out of control with a losing streak and doubling down on big losers. It's one thing to be wrong 10 times, but if you're wrong 10 times and you only lose practically nothing, then it doesn't really matter. Almost out of 1 to 2. Keep an eye on the higher time scale. Almost thinking the move today is going to be a move down for like the big money shot move. But again, it's like 10 o'clock, so it's not surprising that maybe get a reversal. And keep an eye on the P&L as a indicator. 275. Like right in here would be a decent spot to put a buy in. mainly because we're at the bottom of a range. You can see this is like the previous. Kind of looks like it's turning around a little bit. And a lot of times when it turns around, you'll get kind of a doji candle. I've heard these called a lot of different things, Morning Star, Hanging Man, or whatever, but it's the same kind of thing. It's just you have bearish, 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 followed by kind of what it's doing right now. We got 14 seconds for that to close. Interesting how it closed. I'm gonna put a stop in. Do that 20. Just beneath this recent low. If it blasts through it, then it blasts through it. But kind of the strategy is to buy at the bottom of the hills, not to expect a continuation lower. Not to say it doesn't happen, but statistically it's more likely that it'll go up versus continue down. At least according to my math and the way I do it and the way I've seen it happen over and over again. After this trade, I'll check the chat, see what's going on with everybody. This will be the last live stream on this channel of the trading. I started a different channel that's dedicated basically to trading things, mainly because not everybody's into trading. I look at this as fun and something new and exciting that I'm kind of trying to master and learn and excel at. But not everybody is into that, but kind of the goal is to migrate everything over to that trading channel, and really kind of focusing on teaching and creating kind of a community of traders. This can be somewhat lonely trading every day, and not a lot of people in your circle can relate in a lot of different ways. It's like some people are so, it's like $130 to some people. I mean, that's all day of working for some people. And I think this is going to be a nice trade. I'm going to go to take the risk off the table entirely. Keep an eye again on the P&L as an indicator for price action. As long as it's flickering higher more than it's flickering lower, you can learn a lot by watching the price. Yeah, because this is an auction environment. And if we're getting hits, it's getting weak. I'm gonna short this. It looks like we just closed bearish on the 15-minute. That high did not overtake this high. Not to say it couldn't continue to kind of test up there, but the weakness of this candle mixed with the weakness of this 15-minute in the very short term here, I don't think it's going to keep going up. I think it's going to go back down for maybe $100, $200. I'm just going to keep an eye on the 15-minute because we're at the top of this range now. So everybody can see the range I'm talking about. In between these two yellow lines kind of makes up this range. And so it wouldn't surprise me if price goes all the way down to here at the bottom of the range. $185. Again, we'll kind of watch this as an indicator. If anything's going to continue, because now we're at a zone, a buy zone. See how price hits here. But now we're breaking through that zone. But you're going to be very mindful that it could bounce back up higher. So we'll watch the P&L for weakness. And take that $300 winner. Wait for it to bounce up and get in on another short opportunity if it emerges. What are we doing today? It feels like we're kicking ass a little bit. You know, up about $1,000. And kind of watch the 15-minute too. Let me jump in the chat, see if anybody's in here. Well, we have a lull. Doesn't look like it. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. So I'll kind of get back into a short here. And then we got some upward movement. If this breaks any higher, I'm gonna get out of the position and kind of have a mental stop loss in for about that. Not to say I don't want to keep shorting. I just, if it's gonna go up to this level, right up in here, from there to there is almost 50 ticks. That's $250. Oops, it's okay. So there's like not really a huge reason to get in on a short right here, other than like a fear of missing out. And so again, this reminds me of fishing, where it's dropping down. It's like, oh, I'm missing out. It's going to drop all the way. Like, it's going to do one of these, and it could do one of them, but if we put a sell in right there compared to waiting, I mean, that's 27 ticks. Just even the top and bottom of that candle is 30. So just to do easy math, catching it down here versus waiting for it to be up here is $150 difference. That's a 1-to-1 difference. Just wait for it to kind of do what it's doing, get back up there. Again, I should have listened to my own advice and wait for this to get back up here. That's one of those learning ones where it's like, oh, I knew better, but I just did the opposite because of fear of missing out or whatever reason. There, and that's what we should have waited for to begin with. That has a 25 tick stop. I still think it's gonna tank to this level down here, but that's what happens if you get in too early. And it's not really a huge deal if you're sizing like maybe half this, 5 micros, and then do another 5 to equal 1 mini, I should look that up real quick, but I was doing that for a while, having a lot of open positions. It just becomes harder to manage, especially if you have 10 and then this doesn't get all 10 of them in one stop loss type bar. So then you're moving one around, the other one's not moving. If it's a volatile market, a lot of times it's just kind of difficult to move that many open small positions versus click, boom, done. And so I'm still thinking this is going to be a short. What am I doing here? Trend line. Looks good to me. We're at $50 profit. What will this move be if we get this whole thing? This is a 200-point move. That'd be a $1,000 move. I don't know, it might be setting up for a change of momentum to the bullish. A pretty long wick on that 15-minute. What I do? I just got into a long on accident. That worked out. Not exactly where I want it, but yeah, a lot of trading is just catching these patterns over and over again. Like just the way it moves. Bull markets especially, it's like you have up, which is the inducement, followed by the actual kind of move, which is the short following that to squeeze everybody out of it, and then getting in. So it's like if you look at this like an energy, it's like, okay, up, kind of climax, down, but then this wick kind of shows, well, the energy is now moving back up. Yeah, and generally, NASDAQ's a pretty bull market. But yeah, you can see this is huge candlestick screwing up my freaking aspect ratio or whatever you call this, the freaking scaling. I don't like what that's doing. I don't trust this shit at all. I think I'm gonna hang back for a minute. How are we doing? We're up. Let's start doing some math here. What did I start this account with today? I'll have to figure this out. So I'd like to put on these videos once it's done how much profit was actually created, captured, whatever, along with the dollar amount. And since this guy did not breach these highs, the idea of it turning around and going as like an inducement up, not seeming as likely. So you have to be very open to change in trading. Getting married to an idea can really screw you. $10:30 New York session time. Another 15-minute candle is about to close, and it looks like it's closing pretty bearish. Not super. It's almost like a doji. But we have the head and shoulders. We have a higher high followed by a lower high, which is a reversal pattern for movement to the downside. So it's like up, up, up. This one didn't do the trick. Down, down, down to this where it started from, which is down here. I'm about to have to run to the bathroom break here. That's one of the challenges of doing these streams. Trading by yourself. You can just scoot out whenever. I gotta try to, on some level, be entertaining. Maybe that's not real. maybe traders don't care and just care about the price action and the strategy. So we got the new candle here. We got two red on the 15. Very likely it'll drop now. And that might be our big move for today. And then kind of what I'll probably end up doing, since it's not really trending all that much, I'll probably just call it a day and not put a swing trade in on the Top Step account. Kind of with Top Step being like $100 for a 100K combine, I'd rather be a little bit more conservative and really just trade the A+ setups. With Apex and these evals being $40 with a $40 reset, it's you could do two for the price of one, and if you fail it, then you fail it. But like I said, there's pros and cons of using both. But that's why I use Apex for kind of the scalping, because it can be more volatile and compared to just swing trading. Swing trading is more like I would probably have a 400 tick stop loss. Yeah, probably 400 tick. I did the math, the past month or so. Where is it? I'm trying not to clink the microphone around, but I think it was like 1,200. Yeah, NQ's average for 20-something previous days, 1,246 ticks movement on average per day. So that's how I ended up with the 400 tick stop loss, because trying to get a 1 to 3. So divide that by 3, about 400 ticks. And that just is a kind of a trailing stop, pretty low risk. But this guy here, from here to about there, so I'd probably take profit 170. Do 170 times 5. There's like $850 move. Pretty nice chunk of change there. Already kind of in a winning position here. $80 winner. Plus the way those candles look and the way that's lining up. I mean, I would assume most traders that have decent amount of experience trading NASDAQ New York session are looking at this like, oh buddy, let's get ready to short the shit out of this. Especially considering the time. 10:30. 9 to 11, 9 to 11:30. Kind of that time of day for that last big move for calling it. I have spent a majority of time trading all day long, every single day. New York session, Asian session, and London session, especially when I was doing Forex trading. The problem is just with the prop firms and everything, and Forex is why I switched to futures, which is fine. It's almost better for me to have that mental break and not be sucked into the market as much. This is dialing around. Let's jump into the chat, see if anybody's in here. Doesn't look like it. But like I said, I moved everything to a new YouTube channel. I was going to do a live thing from there today, but I guess it needs 24 hours or something to once you activate live streaming on the new channel for whatever reason, which is fine. I'll just download it off the this channel and put it on the other one, which is Profit Smasher Trading, for anybody that wants to keep following the streams. I don't really like what it's doing here. It's not dropping. If this candlestick doesn't have that big push down, I'm gonna get out of this position because it could be turning around. Because we got a low here and a higher low there, so it could be making kind of a wedge shape now. I'm gonna get out of this. I actually think that's more of a buying opportunity, mainly because it just didn't want to drop. And that low is higher than this low. That high kind of broke those highs. I mean, it's pretty bearish, but I have a feeling it might want to retest up higher, but I could have just screwed myself. I'm just putting a stop loss. This is is just if it drops below that, this idea of it turning around is just invalidated, which is fine. It's not a big deal. It's okay to be wrong. It's part of like problem of society. It feels like people would rather die than be wrong. It's kind of working out. I mean, we're getting a little bit of a bounce up. I'll wait and see what's going on with this. Again, we're at the top of that 15-minute, just about. So that would be this guy. So that's the level to short it. Why is that not freaking clicking? Oh, great. Had 3 contracts. There's a freaking delay. I was going to get out of that trade before it. It was profitable, but no, it's too much risk. And so we're at the top of that 15-minute. Good spot to short it. We got a doji, another doji, and it did not overtake the high of that previous doji. You can tell by doing one of them, just a hair shorter. Which in NASDAQ world, close enough doesn't really count. You know, if it misses it just a little bit, it'll not be very much forgiveness. I don't like how laggy my stuff is acting. Yeah, I'm getting pretty shitty positions with these lagginess. Yeah, but the reason I'm putting a long in, even though it doesn't seem like the smartest thing to be doing right now, I just I'll draw it. This pattern where it goes up, then down, and then it's breached that 15-minute high. It's suspect to me that it'll start moving up higher. Plus, this low was higher than this low. So we got a break of this high, a higher low. It's very likely that we're probably going to move up higher then. Well, Mark, you just said it. It could be. It's like you just got to constantly just be reevaluating a game plan. Like having theories about why price is doing what it's doing. You know, think of it more like surfing. It's like, do you need to have all these theories about the ocean waves, or do you just want to just get out there and see what the ocean brings you and then try to ride it? Same kind of concept. 1040. We still haven't really caught a big New York move. Either up or down, you know. If we don't get something here soon, I'm going to call it a day. Some of the worst trades I get into is just getting stuck in consolidation and sideways ranging on a larger time scale. It just seems so weak. These candles are just barely getting any strength, any movement. And there's like a micro range from here to there. Yeah, 50 ticks though. That's $250. Oops, didn't really mean to close out. Maybe it's all well that I did. We'll see if that bounces back up to here. Negative. What time is it? Or 98853. I need to write this shit down. Yeah, as I get older, it's like, oh, I'll remember it. It's like, nope. Okay, what was that? It's like 98853. I'm going to wait right in the middle between here and there and see if it... I think it's still going to drop. Because that high did not get convincingly up to this. So we got a red candle on the 15, another red, another doji. Yeah, I would assume that this is probably going to drop. Probably to that original level that we were thinking earlier. Just down here. Is that 185 profit? This is when it's important to watch the price action. As soon as it shows weakness, not temporary weakness, but just a loss of momentum like that. You know, try not to get hung up on capturing the entirety of the move. And we'll see if now that it's at the bottom of the range here is a real short stop. And see if it I'm gonna do 10. Was that $50? And give it a little bit of breathing room, but see if it bounces back a little bit. See if we can capture a little bit more of this move. Not very much. Not very much. Again, this is kind of that buying zone. You see price hits this level and took off. That's why we put a buy in down here, just because it's in that zone. That's the only reason. The trick is to constantly assume it's going to keep falling, and then buying it here at the bottom of this zone. It could go up to here and then down and get stopped out. Now it's showing a little bit of a turnaround of energy with this kind of making a bottom. Doji, sideways range. Yeah, we'll see what happens. At this point, break even. I'm gonna close it manually, but you never know if it just is going to straight down real quick. Some landmine event. Like I said, I'm gonna flatten it by pushing a button, but I like to just set that stop loss there just to do it. It's still showing. It still looks so. It's still acting very weak. Went ahead and shorted out because it's acting so weak. Another reason is because of what's going on the 15-minute with this indecisiveness. I was surprised that from this candle on Friday that it didn't retrace down more. Market's full of surprises, I guess. It's about 11 o'clock. I'm getting ready to bounce. Just hoping to get that big New York City money shot, but I don't know what's going on today. It might turn around. The reason I say that is just because this candlestick here didn't convincingly go over that one. It's so weak. It's showing such weakness. The 15 minutes looking weak. Oops. I'm going to close this. I think I'm going to call it a day. I don't like how sidewaysy this is acting. I don't know, maybe one more short. Let me just jump in the chat, see if anybody's in here. Let's say what's up. What's going on, everybody? What am I doing? Brain fart. Okay. Yeah, I just don't think this thing is moving up higher. I just think it's going to tank. But you know, it's kind of sidewaysy, so yeah, it's sideways. Anything could happen when it's. I'm just gonna get out of it. I'm gonna call this a day. I don't know how we did as far as. I think we're up $800 and something. I think I was about 97 something. Again, I wasn't paying much attention to it, which is my bad. I'm gonna do one more sell. I just want that freaking big move. And that's part of my downfall, is not walking away, just having too much grit. You know, it's like having like a music business. You know, I've been like entrepreneurial for so long that, you know, sometimes you can get into these things where you just grind it out and just don't quit and just keep going and going and going. But sometimes that's a detriment, and not being able to walk away. You know, keep hoping for something that just is not in the cards for the day. But it's important to really keep the concept of being a successful loser and a successful winner, because either way you're going to be successful if you don't let the winners spiral, and you don't you know, do these dumb things that just drain your account. And the problem is, you know, sometimes, you know, grit get you that one more trade. That's the big winner. I mean, that's the unknown about trading, and why it can be so intoxicating on some level. Is just like, you never know what's going to happen, and literally anything could happen. It could be the best day of your life or the worst. There you go. Another 100 something bucks. We'll just call that a day. So 98, almost back to 99,000 on the account, which is not too bad. And so we're gonna call that a day. It's about 11 o'clock. It's trading sideways too much for me. And so with that being said, you know, appreciate everybody liking, sharing, subscribing. Appreciate everybody you know, hitting up the channel, all the social networking things. Hopefully this has been helpful. Hopefully this helps your trading. Hopefully it helps you make some extra money. And with that being said, thanks again, and God bless.